She said, when you said play ocean sounds and Wanda's dog started barking, Kimberly Love said sea lions.
Oh, I didn't see the chat.
Hey, everybody. So I have started a recording, and that makes me smile because we don't record beach camp events.
Never.
So this feels a little like we're breaking the rules.
Do I have to filter now?
I think we might lose the recording if we need to. I've done that before.
It's been known to happen. It's like, oh, I said that.
Hooray. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the first ever Beachpreneurs virtual table talks. We're so excited to connect with you. So, hey, I'm Kelly.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Jessica.
Yay, woo. Yay, woo. So, who's been to a Beachpreneurs event and who wants to be at a Beachpreneurs event? Go ahead and you can type in chats, or you can just nod your head, yes, I've been, or no, I haven't been there.
I have been.
You have been.
Yeah.
We missed you last time, Kimberly, but you know that because I told you. It's like, where is she? Peggy's coming next year. Elaine's been.
Yay. Hi, Angela.
Anne has never been, but is looking forward to attending one. And Melissa loved this year's beach camp. Where's Melissa? Oh, don't have your video on. That's why I don't see you.
Wonderful. So
we just wrapped up beach camp in Daytona Beach. And we were on a major high from it. We're like, we just did all that. Kelly, we did this. We created this. Did you see all that magic, all those friendships that were made? Oh, my God, all those breakthroughs. I was like on this total did this. And then the pictures were coming out. And we're like, oh, my God, look at the laughter and the connection. And we wanted more. We said, do we have to wait till next February and March and April for the next Beachpreneurs events? And Kelly said,
No.
No, I don't want to wait. No. Where's my pen?
No,
she said, no.
Oh, gosh. And the good news is we have dates for the next Beach Camp 2020. And Nicole has already posted it on Facebook. It was funny because I wrote an email saying, we'll tell you on the call. And then Nicole posted Facebook group, and I was like, oh, she took the wind right out of my sails.
I was excited. Well, and I knew we were having this call today, so I wanted to have the events live. So
yes.
Everybody could go and check them out.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen yet, Beach Camp 7 in 2020 is May 1st, 2nd. Oh, wait, hold on.
Here's all the events right there.
I'm going to say I just broke my brain.
Because it's a year from today, Beach Camp. May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and today's May 2nd.
That event, I didn't even know you could link to just a list of events like that. How cool. Yes. So May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We wanted it to be in April. We try to aim for April, like right after Easter usually. But between the cheerleading competition that takes over Daytona Beach and Easter and Jeep Beach stretches out, blacks out 2 weekends, we ended up just on the very edge of the month.
Those of us that have Jeeps and love Jeeps don't want to have hundreds of thousands of Jeeps. No. They're going up and down the beach, and when we go out to restaurants, the wait would just be ridiculous. So
there was a news story. It wasn't Daytona Beach. It was a little south of Daytona Beach, but there was a woman who called 911 because a Jeep drove over her legs. She
That's
was
horrible.
sunbathing, and a Jeep drove over her legs. I thought, there. That's why we don't do Beachpreneurs
That's awful.
during Jeep Beach.
Well,
We don't want anybody getting run over, for sure.
If it was on the sand, maybe she was okay. So we decided we wanted to feature and show off some of our beachies. And so we started with our Blessica. Jessica Larrew, also known as Blessica to us because she is one of our biggest blessings in life. And we love her. Yeah. So, Jessica, would you like to tell everybody some stuff about you? A little background, like in your business, a little background, like throw in some like awesome stuff and high five yourself. And then how you ended up at the beach house and, just a little bit about that maybe. And then you guys start thinking of questions you want to ask Jessica and us because we're here too.
Sure. So I had my first real job, my last real job. It's early for me. Okay, I had my last real job in 2008. So I have officially been unemployed for longer than I was ever employed before in my life. I got let go from my last job and decided I don't want to work for anybody anymore. So I started selling stuff online. Everybody in our life thought we were pretty crazy and didn't understand why I would do that. It got crazier when my husband quit his job too, and he started working from home selling on Amazon with me. All those people who thought we were crazy all of a sudden started asking questions, wanting to know, well, now what are you doing exactly? Because you're no longer looking like you're working, but you are doing a lot of things that we want to do, and you're spending a lot of time with your family. So what is this that you're actually doing? So I started doing lots of coffee dates and explaining to people what I was doing, and realized I'm spending a whole lot of time one-on-one with people, and there are a lot of people who want to know what I'm doing. So I took my information, my knowledge that I had built about selling on Amazon and turned that online, and I started a blog, and I started telling people online how they could start a business from home selling on Amazon. Little did I know that business of telling people what I would do would way overshadow the selling on Amazon part. So we had a 6-figure business selling on Amazon. We turned the information and teaching business into a 7-figure business within 3 years. And so that was 4 years ago. So we've consistently had a 7-figure business since then. At this point, we still have our Amazon business. We have a niche website that runs Google ads. We have our teaching business. We sell trainings, do some very small amount of coaching, run membership coaching groups once in a while. Don't have any long-term ones, but I've kind of played in a lot of stuff with the blog and with the website, so got lots of experience there now. It feels like it's just kind of it's evolved so fast because, like I said, it's I haven't had a real job in a long time. I started going to the beach house. Is it 5 years now? 5 years ago? I know it feels like forever, but it hasn't been that long for that. So I started going to the beach house.
Have you missed one since you started coming?
It was when there were 2 per year, so I missed one, but it was not a full year that I missed. I started going to the beach house when I was at about, I think it was like, it felt so low. I mean, it felt so huge at the time, but now looking at it, it was pretty low in my journey. I think I started coaching with Nicole and I was at about $10,000 a month and wanted to be at $20,000 a month. And then Nicole is famous for telling you, just double your goals, no big deal. So we said, okay, well, I'll make my goal $40,000 a month. And then after a year, the next beach house, I had met that goal. And I think that was 5 years ago. And then the next goal was let's get to 1 million.
You've been 5 times, you think?
I think I've been 6.
6 times.
Yeah.
6 in 5 years. If that's correct. But so to me, Beach House is my safe space, my place to play. Because on my blog, I don't talk a lot about this side of the journey. I mostly I pretty much only talk about the Amazon side. But I have a lot of fun talking about the website stuff and the trainings and email and all that. But that's where I play, is at the Beach House, and I get to see in other people's businesses and get refreshed in my own. So that's kind of the very short
And the
journey.
first time you came, you didn't know anyone. I mean, we had been coaching together like 3 weeks, so you barely even knew me, and you flew across the country, and you never flew by yourself before. And
I think, I don't even think it had been 3 weeks. I think it had been like a week maybe. And Nicole's like, well, we have this event. It would be so cool if you could come. And I'm like, I probably could. I could probably come. So yeah.
And Jessica co-facilitates with us now at the Beach House. So because as she she mentioned, but I will enhance upon, is she has mad skills in creating products, selling products, list building, blogging, running membership sites. Gosh, what else? Outsourcing now. So you guys, you have the opportunity to pick her brain for the next little bit. So if you have some questions, you can start typing them in. And Cal, you look like you have something to say. You're thinking.
I was just going to say, if you want to ask a question verbally, go ahead, unmute yourself and shout out. Table topics at beach camp is you get like 45-50 minutes to talk about anything you want. So you've got permission to ask Jessica anything you want, or to even share something that you're dealing, like if you can share in a minute like something you're dealing with, and ask Jessica for her input.
Yeah,
it's open to whatever you like. At
beach camp during the no, I'm trying to say it, I can't say it.
Topic tables.
There's usually the biggest table would be 6 people, and there's 45 to 50 minutes. So each person gets specific time to ask what their issue is, and each table has a specific topic, like list building or PLR or outsourcing. So you can ask questions specific to that. But for this one, you've just got Jessica. At the Beach House, each person gets dedicated time to work on their roadblocks, because the Beach House is designed where we start with your goals. The next day is, okay, this is where you want to get. The next day is, what are the things standing between you and those goals? Whether it's a real or perceived roadblock, because a lot of them are perceived. Or there's something that we can go, well, that's easy. There's a plugin that does that. Done. What's, and then the third day is your plan. So we get much more in depth at the Beach House, but the topic tables are a little taste of that. And then we also have the beach condo, but that's a whole other topic. So who wants to ask Jessica something about list building, product creation, selling your products, membership sites? Otherwise, we'll start talking about beach condo, but
Angela,
go ahead.
For Jessica, it's not any of those things you just said, but I'm curious, Jessica, based on what you said about going from 10 to 40, do you remember what you did? I know that's a big question, but I'm curious, like at that point where you made the decision, was it more like strategy based? Was it more what you were thinking of? I'm kind of, in that area of working on that. So I was curious.
At that point, I had quite a bit of the structure in place. So I had my big course, which was 300 at the time, my big course. And I had a few smaller courses. I was also running a membership where it was a group coaching where people were paying monthly. And so it was a lot of implementation, of like the back end. That was the big thing with Nicole that I wanted to work on at first, was like, how do I take what I have and then make more money without doing a bunch more work? So it was like integrating the courses together to get people to buy multiples, and taking the information that I was already doing in the group coaching to create more courses. So every month I was coming up with new training topics and teaching the group. So instead of just letting those live as group only, those all went to paid trainings as soon as the month was over. So by the end of that year, I went from just a couple of courses to about 10 full on like buy now courses. And then the other thing was, once all that was in place and ready to go, then it was just exposure. I started really putting myself out there, getting on as many podcasts as I could at the time, guest posting for people, pretty much like the opposite of where I'm at right now. Where like right now I'm doing that again, but for a couple of years I was very, very like, I don't want to do any like interviews or anything like that. But in the beginning, it was like, just go. I want to do all that people will invite me to. And I think that all of that compounded into being able to grow. And I think it was there, ready to go. It was just, I didn't even know it was a possibility at the time. So it was like, well, let's just, raise it. One of the things we did was double the price of the membership. So for new people who came in, they went from, instead of paying $47 to $97. So that quickly took the membership from a few $1,000s a month to $10,000 a month. And then really selling, just having so much stuff available to sell made a huge difference.
Well, you can probably see me making eyes at Angela. Angela,
Nicole's like, why did you ask that? I already tell you that all the time.
Did I reiterate the same things?
Well, Angela is in club level, which is Kelly and I have a coaching program where we coach together, and it's called Club Level. And so she gets access to both of us. And so Angela and I have been having this conversation about, you need to get more visible. So as soon as he said that, I'm like, I started avoiding the eyes on the screen.
I would say like that's probably one of the biggest things. And I've seen that effect because I did go pretty quiet for a couple of years. And I was just coasting. I was just letting what had been built run its course, which is amazing because that's really what you want a lot of times, right? Is you want a business that will run without you having to work in it all the time. And so I felt like, okay, if things can continue how they are without me having to work all the time, I'll just let that be. But then in the last year, it's gotten to the point where it's like, okay, well, I either want to be done with it because I'm not doing anything anymore, or I want to try and grow it again and get out there again. So this has kind of been the year of, all right, let's like put ourselves on podcast, or put myself on a podcast again, get myself on guest interviews. And I can already see the effect of that, just like it did the first time. So for me, that's the biggest.
And I only pick on Angela because she's so awesome, and I just want everybody to know about her because she's so amazing. So, yes, Peggy gives a thumbs up to that one. And I know she can take it. She knows I love her so much. Definitely.
I can take it, yeah.
Oh,
And
I know.
it's really good to hear from you too, Jessica, so thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what I was thinking of when you said it, though? It reminds me of like a bicycle. When you said coasting, so when you're like going uphill with the bicycle, that would be like those interviews and stuff, and sometimes you just get to coast. Yeah, I think if I look at it like I've got to push like I would on a hill that I don't love doing, but it will be beneficial. So yeah. I'm getting there.
You are.
Yeah. You're doing big things.
Mm-hmm. And Kelly's doing a series of podcast interviews right now too. Kel, how many are you doing? 30? She's made it a goal to be on, is it 30 podcasts?
Yeah, more than 30 actually, because I've gotten some interviews outside of the arrangement I have with Interview Connections. So more.
Very cool. Yeah, Jessica was just on Pat Flynn's podcast again. That's always fun.
It's recorded,
Jessica,
but not out yet.
Gotcha. And Melissa said, what platform do you recommend for memberships, Jessica? And Fran says, yes, Angela is awesome.
So I use a member. It was really the only thing that I found out about at the time that I started. Since then, I have looked at a ton of different membership platforms and things that integrate with other stuff. And over time, I've just felt like I've never found something that seems trustworthy enough for me to move everything at this point. So I know there's a lot of stuff that has come out since then, but I still feel like a member just really works. The one thing that it doesn't have that I always admire from other people's memberships is a really pretty like member area. But I think with some money and a designer, you can make that happen. But for like the DIY, it is pretty difficult. So I use a member, totally love it. Still pay for it every year. And yeah.
You could totally do that with Divi though, Jessica, because you use Divi still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thrive Themes. I've become a Thrive Architect lover. They've got their new Thrive. They've got the new courseware function in that membership. I want to plan like a weekend to just play with it.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Which one is that? Did you say Thrive Cart?
Thrive Themes, Thrive Architect.
Thrive Architect? Because someone else mentioned Thrive Cart to me. That's not the same thing, right?
Nope.
No, not. Don't you love it when things are named so similarly?
I was telling you about Thrive the other day in our emails too, but I can revisit that and show you behind the scenes of my stuff too.
Thrive Apprentice is the new function that they introduced this year. Everything you need to build professional online courses.
I'll show you.
And is that something, Kelly, that integrates well with a member? Because that's just the pages, it's not the actual membership.
Yep.
It's just for the design of whatever you're creating with it, you're protecting it through the WordPress connection to a member.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm not close to that. The whole site is staying on Divi for sure, but I've considered taking just the course part and putting that on a different theme.
A separate WordPress install. Yeah. Totally doable. All right. Other questions for Jessica?
So don't forget, you guys, you can unmute yourself if you want to ask a question, or you can turn your video on and ask, or you can type into the chat and we'll read it.
The interesting thing about goal setting, like you touched on it before, some people, everybody's so different with goal setting, like at the beach house. Some people, you say double that, I want my goal to be $10,000 a month. Well, let's double that and see what that creates. Because for a lot of people, myself included, if I'm looking at, okay, I want to make X, if I wanted to make $10,000 a month, then I would be making certain decisions to get to that. And I might get it, I might not get it. If I aim for 20,000 or 40,000 or 50,000, then the micro decisions I'm making every day on how I spend my time are completely different in a lot of cases. So rather than almost getting to 10,000, sometimes you get to 15 or you get to 16, whereas aiming for that 10, you're making decisions that get you to that level. Does that make sense? Yeah. So just something we like to play with at the beach house a little bit, because when you're making decisions, it becomes not I should do sometimes, but I should outsource, or I should spend my time not doing this blog post, but doing this webinar and then reaching out to people who have bigger audiences that can help me to grow my business. So just those little decisions on how you want to spend your minutes of your day that you are in front of the computer can become totally different depending on where you're headed, what you want to do.
So this group is entirely too quiet for my taste. So I'm not above bribing. I will bribe you with brownies. I'm going to send some brownies to 1 or 2 people who ask thoughtful questions or just share a little something about their business and ask Jessica for feedback.
Brownies.
I know it takes, like, when we're all together in person, it's like we can't shut up. Like, there's just something that happens when we get together in person, but virtually, I think people are a little shyer. So,
and people tend to be scared of me. Is it me? I don't know why.
Oh, stop being so dang intimidating.
I don't know why people are scared of me. I think I'm very nice. But
Fran says, I'm so new. I am just learning.
Gotcha.
So
Wanda, are you afraid of me?
Carol says, it's not you, Nicole. We love you. So it's me. It's me.
Carol.
All right.
We can talk about Beach Condo if nobody's got questions.
Looks like Donna's going to ask a question.
I'm going to ask a question.
Oh, good.
Ladies, I enjoyed the Beachpreneur thing so much, but I do have a question because I came away from there with so many ideas. We are looking at starting a membership program. I am teaching a class this month, and I want to roll them from that into a membership program. So, Jessica, what would be the one thing, if you had to say one thing that you would tell yourself if you went back, you absolutely have to do to be successful? What would be that one thing so I make sure I don't forget it?
I would say the most important thing for me, looking back at that, is setting up the membership in a way that it isn't overwhelming. Because of the way, so I don't run that membership anymore. But at the time, I had it set up in a way that, like I said, they got a full training at the end of every single month. And so at the end of a year, I had created 12 full trainings, which, you know, like in my business now, I would never think to offer that many trainings in 1 year. And so it just got to the point where it felt really heavy for me to want to be in the membership. So I felt like the only option at the point was to close it, which I know now it wasn't the truth. So looking at that, when I think about doing memberships now, which often does cross my mind, is keeping it really simple from the beginning and not offering too much stuff, because I think what people really want is the access and getting what you have to offer, but not necessarily just being overloaded with trainings. You know, so often I join a membership and then I don't even look at all the courses that are offered. You know, I'll come on to a couple live calls, or I'll just join the Facebook group and that's it. So that would be my biggest thing, is just make it to where it feels really doable for the long term. And that way you don't feel like, okay, in 5 months, I don't want to do it anymore.
Okay. Thank you.
And that's true from both sides. I mean, from running the membership site, you want it to be simple and not this big weight, like Jessica said, every month of, oh crap, what am I going to do? Because if you're feeling that energy, then your customers are going to feel that energy, right? Your members are going to be not feeling the, hey guys, here I am. They're going to be like, why did you sign up for this? But from their perspective as well, it just something actionable. All you have to, like Paul Evans says, all you have to deliver is what you told them you were going to deliver when they signed up, right? So don't tell them you're going to give them everything in the sun. Just give them what they need, give them what they want.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kelly, you have a question.
Brooke says, do you have a research protocol to get on podcasts? Mine is to go to Stitcher and search for my field of expertise and then reach out based on the podcast history. Do you have a better approach? I think that's a great approach, Brooke. Yeah. I love that you're that you're basing the pitch on the podcast history, that shows that you paid enough attention to who they're speaking to pitch properly. As a podcast host, I can tell you that 90% of people don't do that. I get people who pitch all the time stuff that has nothing to do with my audience or my topics. So this...
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Another option too is, instead of researching just from the standpoint of the topic for the webinar or the podcast, is to research where people in a similar space have been. So if somebody's in the same industry as you, see what podcasts they've been featured on, and you can do that in iTunes. If you search that person's name, if they don't have their own podcast, if they do have their own podcast, they'll come up as so many searches. But if they don't have a podcast, then every episode that they've been featured in will come up in the list of results. And then you know that the person is interested in what you have to talk about as well.
Yeah, I do that too. I go through and search like my competition's names in iTunes and go, oh, these look like they have potential. Yeah. As, just whether being on their podcast or just connecting in some way, shape, or form for a collaboration.
That's a great tip. So I decided to push an easy button on this. So interviewconnections.com is Jessica Rhodes and Margie Feldman. They're a podcast booking agency. So I have paid them for a package where they worked with me. It was a really delicious concierge onboarding experience where they brought me into a conference room, a virtual conference room like this, and their whole team asked me questions about my business, who I want to reach, who's my perfect target market, what are my favorite topics. And they built out a beautiful one sheet, and then they go find the podcasts. They do all the footwork. They find them. They check them with me. They give me the list and ask me if there's anything I don't want to be associated on. And then they send my one sheet and pitch me to the podcast. And then I only get brought into the picture when they say, yes, we'd love to have her. So saved me a huge amount of time. And I just have this pleasure of just popping onto podcasts with people who've already said yes. It's exciting. And I highly recommend it. If your funnels are up and running, if you're really proud of your web presence, and you have some money to invest in promotion, like if you were going to spend money on an ad campaign, take some of that and go spend it on something like this. It's really positive for my business.
Do they specialize in business to business, or do they do other niches too?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yay.
I think you just answered it, but maybe you could elaborate a little bit, because when a couple of years ago, I got on the list of someone who's like, I guess like a virtual assistant team, and they kept sending me interviews. Like they had it was mostly telesummits, but it was some like interviews, I think for like podcasts and stuff too. And I think what I didn't have in place was good funnels and like a good, where they could come to a specific page, and get something relevant to whatever I was talking about. I was kind of talking about random things and, whatever the host wanted to talk about. And I don't think the message that I was out there speaking on really matched anything on my site. And so I didn't really see any effects of it. I don't know. Maybe some people kind of came over, found out about me and stuck around, but how do you maximize it is my question.
Jessica, I want to pull you in on something she just said, but Jessica or Angela, I had a specific call to action in mind for every interview. And sometimes that was Beachpreneurs, because if it was an all-female audience of authority-based entrepreneurs, I just said Beachpreneurs, Beachpreneurs, Beachpreneurs. But if it was anything less than that targeted, then I was specifically calling them back to a particular opt-in gift and giving them a particular URL. And the thing that, if you're going to do that, if anybody is going to go guest blog post or podcast and promote something specific, maintain that offer, because those podcasts, like those interviews I've done, some of them are just now going live, and it would be a damn shame if I had changed the offer since then. And those podcast interviews will be working for me for years. But Angela said that she kind of talked about a variety of things, and you are really good at being focused about what you speak about. I know this because we recently battled on the subject.
Sorry.
How do you decide what you're going to talk about when you're getting on podcasts?
I pretty much just have the one thing that I will talk about, which is building an Amazon FBA business from start. So I don't even, which is going to sound pretty crazy because I do have courses for sellers, but I don't even do podcasts that are made for Amazon sellers. I only reach out or say yes when it's a new audience of people who have never been introduced or are introduced to Amazon but are not doing it. That's just where the best ROI is for me. So if somebody is like, oh, I have, 50,000 sellers that listen to my podcast, I always say no. And they're like, well, you reach sellers. And I'm like, well, I don't want to reach sellers. I want to reach non-sellers. So yeah, I try to be very, very specific. And then I always have one opt-in, depending on, my goal is to have a landing page specific for that episode. And they're just the same page repeated, but that says, welcome Beachpreneurs people. Thanks for watching the webinar, or, thanks Pat's people. That way I can say something specific, or if we mention something specific on that episode that we haven't talked about before. And then my landing page not only has whatever the offer is, but because Amazon is usually so new to people, I also give them blog posts to look at, different things that we have on our website that they might be interested in, maybe a special discount. So try not to just get the opt-in on that page. And then that page also would have a specific cookie on it from like a Facebook ad, so that we can target whoever lands on that page differently. So after our next interview with Pat goes live, we'll do Facebook ads that say, hey, thanks for listening to our podcast with Pat Flynn. We really enjoyed talking about this. If you didn't grab your cheat sheet yet, make sure that you go back and grab it. Or we'll actually know if they got it. But yeah, so we can target it that way.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really a lot more specific than what I did.
In the very beginning, like very, very beginning, I would do any podcast. Like I would talk about whatever mindset stuff, which I'm like not a mindset person, but I did a podcast about that. And then I just found that it wasn't converting for me. It wasn't giving me any ROI really, except for experience, which I look back and it is a good thing, because you can't just like know exactly how to do a podcast interview. So I would still have done those in the beginning, but now it's so different.
That's awesome. Yeah, I took everything because they were just sending me stuff, and I'm like, sure. So I guess I got some experience that way too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a great question.
Melissa asked, what do I mean by a full training that I was creating in the early membership? So every month I would teach on a new topic. So all about selling on Amazon, but then I would talk about buying grocery products or buying online sourcing or things like that. So to transfer it to, like, if I had a membership site about blogging, it would be like 1 month we talked only about opt-ins. And then at the end of the month, that whole topic got turned into an ebook about opt-ins. And then the next month we would talk about webinars, and then I would turn it into a course about webinars. So every month it was a brand new topic within the niche, but turned into an actual sellable product, whether that's just formatting it into an ebook or taking the videos that we did that month and turning it into downloadable videos.
Great question. Melissa, send me your address for brownies. She says, so actually a complete course each month. Wow, lots of work. What do you say to that? Yes.
Well,
that's why you stopped it.
Yes.
Because you were like, eh.
Yeah. And I felt like I had covered every topic once. So then it would be like, well, just do it again. But then I had people who were in from the beginning of the membership. And so it just felt very heavy for me.
Gotcha. Oh, you're so smart, Jessica. One of the things that I admire about you is that, when you're done, you're done. And you say you sort of regret, you didn't say you regret, you said you realize now you could have just reframed the membership.
Right.
But awesome.
Yeah.
Other comments or questions? Anything anybody's curious about? So
I have a question.
Go for it.
I am really curious about affiliates, but I have no experience with it. Can anybody, just kind of briefly, is it a difficult process? How to go about starting something like that?
Can I ask a clarifying question? Are you talking about doing affiliate marketing or having affiliates market for you?
Both.
Both, because those are two completely different topics.
Okay.
Yeah, are you referring to promoting other people with an affiliate link to get some income coming in?
Mm-hmm. As well as offering an affiliate link for myself so other people will do the same for me.
Okay. And do you have a specific question to starting affiliate marketing? Because this is we could take a whole week.
Well, that's what I figured. I know, that's what I figured. So that's why I wasn't sure. Where would I go to find out more about that? Do you have any suggestions?
If only Nicole Dean had well, never mind. I'm poking the bear.
I will. So,
well, Angela has natural affiliate marketing. Angela, don't you still have that course?
You're muted, hon.
Not currently, but I can give Peggy access to it for sure.
I'm a member.
I will, Kelly. Or I will, Peggy. I'll give you access to that for sure. It's mostly live recordings, but it will help you in. I can't remember which one that was. That was for affiliate marketing.
Yeah, for promoting other people as an affiliate naturally.
Yeah, that will help you there. So
yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No worries.
Starting, creating an affiliate program so that other people can promote you is a big topic in and of itself, and it's one of the things Nicole is a kick-ass affiliate marketer, and she's a kick-ass affiliate program owner and has vast experience in seeing affiliate programs succeed. And in that, Nicole, you still kind of don't want to create a beginner's course like how to start your affiliate program, right?
Wait,
or
you cut out.
Changed your mind?
What was the last part? I'm bullying you on a regular basis, encouraging you to create a course about rocking your affiliate program. Right.
But there's the starting an affiliate program, getting started. You're not as yet convinced that you want to create that resource.
You're still talking to me whether I
Yeah.
want to create a resource?
Because beginning one, to me, it's like this. What's the first decision? Like the tool you choose. Oh my God.
I have a hard time with creating an all-encompassing course about starting your affiliate program because most people don't have funnels that are profitable. So for me to teach everybody how to start an affiliate program, I feel would be irresponsible on my part, because I can't encourage a product seller who's not selling product to talk people into promoting them. It's ethically, I have a hard time with that. But when people do have an affiliate program and they do have a product that's selling, then I want to help them rock that. But in the other instance, I would rather work with somebody as a coach, or help them with their back end, help them, figure out what's not selling, why it's not selling. Is it because you don't have visibility? Is it because the market doesn't understand? Is the sales page confusing? Is it pricing? What is it? Is it just people get there and go, I don't get it, and like changing a couple of words and they'd be like, yes, I want this, So without that piece, I have a really hard time going, oh, here, encourage everyone and their brother to promote you, because you're just going to waste people's time and get them frustrated. And then when you do get it fixed and go back to those people, they're not going to want to be interested. So why burn those bridges? It's just not the right order.
Right.
But people that do have a product that sells, and they're selling it themselves, and it's awesome, they're selling it through Facebook ads, and yes, I want my hands on them, because it's like,
yeah,
it's so fun to multiply that.
It's the having the foundation laid where you have a web presence that people can and do find, and that they're reacting to. Once you've got that foundation laid, then there's so many fun directions you can go with to make more money, to make it blossom and grow. But if the foundation isn't laid, all of that, paying attention to all of that, it's just going to make you crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's the same with Facebook ads. I won't teach a Facebook ads course to people that don't have funnels that convert, because they're going to be throwing money at Facebook ads and they're not going to get the ROI. They're not going to see that money come back. So ethically, until you've got, proof that people will buy and this funnel works, then I don't want to encourage people to spend money, especially if they don't have it, or time. Because if chasing affiliates to promote a product that's not going to convert, there's just so many other ways to spend your time, and energy and money. So Peggy, do you have a follow-up question about either side of that, about promoting or having affiliates promote you?
Love to know more about what you do, Peggy. Maybe you want to share it in the Facebook group.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to do that. Yeah, I have no more questions right now. I was just actually in the research stage, so I just had absolutely no idea what my next steps would be. So that was very helpful. Thank you, Nicole.
Of course. And next steps, when you're ready, would be having obviously something that's selling, something that's sexy, something that's clear. And then it would be having a tracking system so that affiliates would get credit. Coming up with a great compensation, depending on whether you have a physical or digital product, the commission, having great tracking, and then clearly explaining that, and then you'd go out and get affiliates, and then the number one thing with running an affiliate program is just be clear. Because as soon as you confuse them, you lose them, because you're asking them to do work to promote you. Right. And so if you confuse them, they're lost. You got to just do the who, what, where, when, how, and why every single point of contact with your affiliates. Every single time before you hit send, before you hit publish, have I covered all of these things?
Right.
And so, I mean, that's 90% of the battle with running a successful affiliate program.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Well, you're so welcome.
Jessica, I want to thank you for making time for joining us today.
You're
for bringing
welcome.
your brilliance. I always feel like you're so calm and confident in what you have built for yourself, like what you built for yourself in running an Amazon business that created the demand for this whole information marketing business. And now you've got all the confidence around that. And, you know, I think that, I don't know about other people, I can speak for myself, but I just look at you and I just like happy sigh, like this, I want that. I just want that confidence in what I'm doing, that I bring value. And I love that you know who you want to speak to, even though it aggravates me sometimes, because I want you to do other things with me. But I love your confidence in your yes and your no.
I love your no.
No.
No. If we could circle back to Peggy's question, Jessica, you're an amazing affiliate marketer too, as far as you promote other people. Is there a tip you would want to throw out, like your number one suggestion for affiliate marketing, or lesson you've learned or something?
When I'm looking at a program from the perspective of, do I want to promote it? I'm really looking at if I feel confident in what's going to happen after the first sale. So if I think that they're going to have more products and those products are going to be in the same funnel, or if the first product is valued high enough that it makes it worth it either way, those really matter to me, because I have a goal in mind. At any time that I send an email, like I want it to make at least a certain amount of money. So if somebody's bringing me a low dollar initial offer, it would take so many sales in order for me to meet that goal. But if they say, well, that's only the first one, but then I have all these things that it gets funneled into, then I'm more likely to do it than if it's just a one-off thing. And then I'm really curious how well they know the program that they're using. If they're like, yeah, we're just setting this thing up, I'm less likely to be an initial launcher with them, because I feel like I've just seen so many people change programs. And then I'm like, well, I just sent you thousands of people and then you took them all somewhere else. So I'm super, super picky with that now.
Angela says she's got a follow-up.
I'm moving from a system where I can tell how much money I made from an email. I'm curious how you're doing that in whatever system you're using and a member. Are you just manually tracking it, or?
Well, for my products, it doesn't matter as much. If it's my own product and I don't meet my money goal, then that's okay. But really, it's for me to send somebody away from my stuff. So my goal is I want to make $2,000 from any email that I send. So if somebody sends me an offer, and then it's trackable, right? Because with their affiliate program. But there's other options too I'll do where if somebody, like, I just don't feel like I'll get the result. Like maybe it's a software and they only have one thing and they, offer like 10 or 15% commission ongoing, then I will just offer them the opportunity for me to send the email for the $2,000, and then I won't take a commission. But it's like, I've done so many emails where I send the offer and then it doesn't convert like I thought it would, or it wasn't an exact fit and I was just doing it to be nice. And then I make a couple $100 and I'm like, well, I should have sent an email about something else. So. Did that answer it?
Yeah,
It does.
it does.
Your goal
And
too. The amount that you're aiming for. for affiliate offers. Thanks.
Well, when you said that, Jessica, it sent my head in a little spin about, because, people who run an affiliate program will reach out and say, I've got this program, it's converting like crazy, you'll earn blah, blah, blah per lead. And I look at it, and I usually feel like I have a feel about whether my people will respond to something or not, whether I can present it well. And it never occurred to me to hit reply and say, well, since you're so confident in that, would you like to just pay me $2,000 to send the email? Yeah. I'm totally going to do that one of these days now.
That's awesome.
No, I'm not. That's such a lie. But I don't know. Because if I don't think it's of use to my people, I'm not going to send it. Right. But being of use to my people and what I think they'll respond to is two different things. So maybe I would.
Well, I think there's a different discussion there, and that's that if the product is something you think your people are going to love, but their affiliate program sucks, then it makes sense. Yeah. Or if they don't have an affiliate program, or if it's like a 10% commission, or you don't trust the tracking because it's some sort of plugin you've never heard of, then it's like, well, I love your product. Yeah. Or if they don't have an affiliate program, I love your product, I'd love to send it, here's my fee.
High five. High five.
So for like an example, I just did this recently with a company that their starting price per month is $19, and they offer a 15% commission. So it's less than $3 a conversion. I can figure that I'll get at least 100 signups for anything that I send out. And so if I got 100 signups, that's going to get me $300, right? Is that right? 285 times 100. So they're going to get a significant amount of money up front, and they're going to get that recurring revenue at such a higher rate than what I'm going to be getting. So I know that it's worth it, that they're going to get their money, and I'm super confident in only promoting something that I feel confident in the 100 signups. But to me, I don't want to send the email for 300 and hope that not just their conversion rate is good enough, but that they can keep people on the back end long enough. Because that I feel like I have no control over. I can have control over presenting the offer well enough, knowing that it's a good fit with my people, but I can't control their customer support or the way that their product works. So for $3, not worth it. But for them, they're going to get, $20, and I'm not going to take a commission at that point.
So. I like it. There's a tool that I want to share with my community that I started using. Same thing, it's $19 a month, 15% commission, but they only pay it for the first year. And so I'm in the question right now of, well, I really like the tool. Do I want to share it anyways, even though I think it's a piss poor commission?
Yeah.
We'll see.
I've worked out special commissions with those kinds too, where I say instead of an ongoing commission, can I just get whatever the initial payment is? I just get 100%, and then you get everything after that, which works out to less than a year's worth of commission.
Nice.
I do have to wrap up. They're waiting for me to get to the beach.
Go to the beach. All right, Blessica. I love you so much.
Thank you, Blessica.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Any last things?
Go.
Family. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Go. Enjoy pictures.
Bye, guys. I will.
Love you.
Love you.
So, as we wrap up and say goodbye for today, do you guys have any questions about Beachpreneurs events?
Well, we haven't told them about Beach Condo yet.
You want to tell them about Beach Condo?
You guys want to hear about it? Okay, so last where am I closing that? Okay, so last February, Kelly had been wanting to snowbird, and I live down here near the Gulf of Mexico in Pensacola, right by Pensacola Beach. And so she decided she was going to come down for 6 weeks. We were going to rent a condo together for 4 weeks, the month of February. And then Beach House started the beginning of March. So we would be here another 2 weeks for that, as we did 2 beach houses back to back. A lot for this introvert. I still am a little bit. It was awesome though. But we had so much fun. We had a couple friends come down and visit and stay with us. We had this big 4-bedroom condo looking right out at the Gulf of Mexico. The white sands at Pensacola Beach are so beautiful. And when the friends came down, you know, I thought, oh, I just want it to be us because it'll be nice and quiet and I can recharge and meditate and everything. And then our friends came down. I was like, wait, this is really fun. Callie, are you going to come down next winter? And if so, can we have more people? Maybe not for the whole month, but for part of it. And then with Beach House, it's only 4 days. So, you know, it just goes so fast. So we started thinking, what if we had a week-long event, beach condos? We rent 4 condos, so 4 buildings. Each one has 4 bedrooms. And we did kind of a beach house, but we call it beach condo. So for a full week, people can come down, ladies only, can come down and stay with us. And we will have masterminding so it is a business expense. And so we'll have targeted masterminding. It'll be designed around the people that are coming. We've already got some people signed up. And then it's also going to be a choose your own adventure style event. So, you know, like on a cruise ship, how every day you get the printout and it's like, here are the things that are going on. So we'll have the masterminding for everyone in the morning, but then we'll also have on for the entire week. You know, you can join Nick for yoga in Unit 2, the sloth unit at 8 a.m. Nick will be talking about affiliate marketing in the sloth unit at this time. We're going to be doing a presentation on meditation for anyone that's interested in that at this time. We're going to go hiking. We're going to be co-working at this time. And so basically every day you can decide what you want to do. Whether it's with me, Callie, or another, all the participants are invited to also contribute. Like one of the gals wanted to do like how to make salads in a jar, you know, just whatever, fun stuff. Maybe go shopping. We get to create it however we want. So we'll have the 4 buildings, and each one will have a camp counselor. Kelly will be in the lemur building for all the extroverts. I will be in the sloth for the introverts, the quieter one. And then we've got 2 other ones that will also have all the breakfast and lunches will be included in the condos. Of course, you can go out. It's your week. You can do whatever you want. And then just like at Beach Camp in Daytona, we'll have sign-up sheets for dinner. So you never have to eat alone. You're welcome to eat alone if you want quiet time, but we're never going to let you be left behind. There'll always be sign-up sheets for meals, dinners out, if we cook on the grill, whatever. We want you to be able to join in whatever you want, but also have your space. Each bedroom is 1 person, so you have your own room. Bathrooms are shared in these units. What else, Cal? What am I missing?
Well, for me, I'm a yes to, I want a snowbird. I want a mini snowbird. I have a young granddaughter who I miss like crazy when I'm down there. So I'm not ready to spend a whole winter in Florida, but a whole extra month away from home. So I'm already a yes to the snowbird. So to be able to snowbird and have it be an investment in my business just makes it the biggest hell yes ever. So if you're already thinking about a vacation in Florida, think about making this your choice, and you're gonna come, you're gonna spend time on your business, you're gonna make friends, you're going to stretch and grow and have such a great time.
And it can also be part of your adventure. I mean, some of the gals are talking about coming from north down to Pensacola Beach for a week and then just continuing on, driving down to Tampa, Disney, the Keys, you know, exploring, maybe go on a cruise, because you've already gotten that far. You might as well keep going, right?
Might as well.
And then you can always circle back up to the beach house in March. Yeah, second one. The first one's already full, but if we had a second one.
Yeah, so she, as Nicole mentioned, beach house, you spend 3 nights in the beach house. You're there for 4 days. You actually spend 7 nights in the condo. Beach house is very intense. There's like 6 to 8 hours of intense masterminding each day. Beach condo, it's 90 minutes in the morning, 90 minutes to 2 hours. So it's more stretched out, a little less intense, but it's like you can do a 1-day fast, or you can do a 7-day modified fast, and you're going to get similar benefits. It's kind of the same thing.
Right.
You know, the house is awesome and the condo is awesome. So like, how much time do you have, and what do you want to create for yourself?
And at the condo, there's co-working as well. Kelly will be, sitting at the table with her laptop open. And so, if you have your laptop open and like, hey, somebody look at this, I'm confused. There'll be plenty of smart brains around to do just that.
So, and we've been saying 1 week, but there's actually an option for 2 weeks. Like if you just are that hungry for an escape from the north, like I am, you can choose a week or 2 weeks to join us. So if you'd like to get some more information from that, go ahead and reach out. We'd be happy to send you information. We are far enough in advance with this that you've got time to do a 10 payment plan, so that it's just budgeted into your whole year, and then you're just looking at getting your flight and travel arrangements to come on down. Bring some spending money and you're good to go.
And so food is included, breakfast and lunch, not dinner. Although you can always eat leftovers if you just want a light meal. The fridge is available. It's not like we put a lock on it at dinner. So stuff like toilet paper, towels, things like that are included as well.
All right. Well, Peggy, you're sending me your email, or you're sending me your address for brownies.
Yes.
So when you send me that, I'll get you that information. If you want to Facebook message me or shoot me an email there at my address. So thanks for spending this time with us today, ladies. This was fun. So appreciate Jessica.
Thank you so much. This has been great.
Oh, thank you for coming, Peggy.
Oh, I can't wait until beach camp.
Yay!
Yes, and the next virtual table topics, I just lost my mind. Where did I put never mind. I was going to be smart and tell you who our next speaker is, and there it is. Sorry. Candace Davis is going to be with us in June. Candace Davis was a speaker at Beach Camp. She is a much sought after private ghostwriter and is going to be talking about smart things like working with a ghostwriter, outlining your book, anything that stews your juices. So have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.